The woman locked up found it strange that footsteps suddenly echoed from the basement. The men were trembling in fear, but the man who tied them up appeared without hesitation. He looked particularly strong and took out a set of keys. The women didn't know what they were about to face until the black-haired woman's hands were slowly lifted. The man was about to untie her. The black-haired woman realized he might have bad intentions. Amidst the intense argument, only Daisy was left in the basement. An hour later, the shouting upstairs finally stopped. Although the black-haired woman returned safely, something seemed lost in her eyes. Daisy felt sorry for her and quickly covered her with a blanket. The black-haired woman vaguely remembered sitting in a cafe a few days ago, drinking a glass of water before leaving. She felt sleepy, and her memory became blurry after stepping outside. When she woke up, she was already in the basement. At first, she almost mistook Daisy for a villain. Daisy, who had a similar experience, was just jogging a few days ago and also woke up in the basement. Now, the two could only rely on each other. The man who tied them up came down 80 times a day, which was unbearable for both women and even the narrator. The black-haired woman, losing her mind, shouted that she could endure anything, but forgot this was someone else's territory. She was knocked down with a punch, and Daisy was choked and warned. As the man left, he threatened them that if they dared to show emotions, they would both be punished together. Daisy became more fearful, unlike the black-haired girl who was always compliant when coming downstairs. Living in the basement for a long time, they were like birds trapped in a cage without even a place to use the restroom. The black-haired woman questioned if she was a worm, but Daisy seemed indifferent, believing they would eventually have a chance to escape. Unexpectedly, the next day, the man brought in another woman. The black-haired woman realized they might never escape. She tried to wake the new girl, but she was unconscious. It wasn't until the afternoon that she reacted, mistaking Daisy and the black-haired woman for villains. Despite their explanations, the girl remained resistant. The black-haired woman quickly stopped her, warning that if she made noise, they would be taken upstairs for punishment. The girl calmed down and recounted what happened the previous night. She had just gotten off work and was heading to the garage to drive home. The garage was unusually quiet, and a man greeted her from behind. When she woke up again, she was in the basement like the others. As she recounted her story, the man returned with keys, claiming to take the black-haired woman for some fun. In reality, it was just to tie her up elsewhere. That night, the black-haired woman faced severe torment. 3 hours later, she was brought back to the basement, feeling terrible and nauseous. She lay in Daisy's arms, and everyone tried to comfort her, saying it would all pass. The man's physique was intimidating. They were taken upstairs daily, enduring endless torment. Daisy had an idea, focusing on the toilet tank, which had a long metal rod. They could use it to wear down the chains. They took turns keeping watch while the others worked on the chains. The base was concrete, so they pretended to comply with the man to buy time. After half a month, they finally saw a breakthrough. Late at night, Daisy was taken upstairs. Before leaving, she signaled the others to proceed with the plan, as the chains were almost loose. After a few minutes of effort, the short-haired woman's chain was freed. They just needed to free the black-haired woman. Meanwhile, Daisy was upstairs, still tied up. She tried to persuade the man, but he enjoyed seeing others suffer. Her attempt failed, and the man started to unchain her halfway, tormenting her mentally. Daisy realized this was her chance. The half-unlocked chain hung around the man's neck, but she couldn't move as he was choking her. At that moment, the two in the basement freed themselves. Escaping was crucial, but Daisy was still upstairs. The black-haired woman found a dagger, and they decided to rescue Daisy and confront the man. Their footsteps were quickly noticed by the man as he went to check. The lucky woman seized the opportunity to strangle him. When the others rushed in, they saw the muscular man finally succumb to the three women on the second floor. Though they had never harmed anyone before, escaping was their priority. As they stepped outside, they heard cries for help from other women. At the car, they realized a woman was tied in the trunk. Without the car keys, Daisy decided to return to the house to retrieve them. The short-haired woman followed, but upon entering, she saw the man was back on his feet. Was it all an act? Daisy, with the keys, was shocked by the scene. Did the man have a way to fake it? When Daisy turned, she realized they were twins. There was no time to think. She grabbed a dagger, but the man dodged and pinned her down. As Daisy reached for the keys, the short-haired woman recovered, and before Daisy suffocated, she launched a surprise attack. The nightmare finally ended. Reunited outside, they found a girl tied up. Through their efforts, they successfully rescued her.